Welcome to my channel, The Flix Judge, where you will get detailed reviews and honest ratings of global movies and OTT series so that you can watch only the best content worthy of your time. Today we'll review Heeramandi, the much awaited web series by Sanjay Leela Bhansali, which is running on Netflix. This big budget Hindi original series is the debut venture of Bhansali in the OTT world. The original story by Pakistani author Moin Beg was apparently with Bhansali for 14 years, which has now been made into a series. This series has many yesteryear stars like Manisha Koirala, Farida Jalal, Shekhar Suman, as well as current stars like Sonakshi Sinha and Aditi Hydari in key roles. A total of 8 episodes having a total runtime of more than 7 hours. This series is available in Tamil, Telugu, etc. Indian languages dubbed version. Heeramandi is an actual location in Lahore where apparently the Mughals had established a red light area where Tawais from across the subcontinent and Central Asia were brought in. This area still exists as a red light area in Lahore, but without the opulence, grandeur, and high class clientele as is shown in this series. The story is set in British India during the 1940s at the peak of the freedom movement as its backdrop. The centuries old culture and practices of the Nawabs who patronized Heeramandi and its high class Tawaifs was already in the wane. Even though the Tawaifs claimed to be entertainers and artists and a class apart from the common prostitutes, the Britishers and the modern generation of Nawabs couldn't care less about the difference or the decadent lifestyle. Still, the Tawaifs wielded a lot of influence as they had control over many of the Nawabs. Manisha Koirala as Malika Jan rules Heeramandi. She has two daughters, Aditi Rao Hydari as Bippo Jan and Sharmin Segal as Alam Zeb play these parts. Sanjida Sheikh as Wahida plays the role of Malika's younger sister. Sonakshi Sinha plays the role of Faridan, the rival of Malika Jan, who is seeking revenge for her mother's death. He is out to destroy Malika Jan and her wealth and power through any means. He ties up with a British police superintendent, Cartwright, who already holds a grudge against Malika Jan. Most of the series is made up of the activities of the ruthless Malika Jan and a sneaky Faridan, using all other characters as pawns. Nobody's life or work or dreams matter in this tale of revenge. Caught in the midst of this is the fledgling romance of Malika's daughter Alamzeb and Tajdar Baloch, who is a rich lawyer from a respectable family. Into the mix is also the Indian freedom movement from which Heeramandi is not unaffected. What happens to the young lovers whose love is already doomed by society, the rivalry of the Tawaifs, as well as the freedom movement? Does it survive? What happens to the rivals Malika and Faridan? Does anyone survive or does Heeramandi itself survive? Watch the series to find out. The first striking feature of this series is the trademark opulence, richness, and grandeur that Bhansali is known for. Fans of Bhansali's colorful frames will be thrilled to see the grand sets, rich jewelry, designer costumes, and whatnot. Even though a bit muted in color due to the filters used to denote the setting of the story in British times, the colors still do come across vividly in many scenes. Some say the budget of the series is around 250 odd crores, and we can surely see where this has been spent. The sets of grand mahals, fountains, dozens and dozens of tawaifs dancing with choreographed movements is like a turbocharged Pakiza or a Mughal Azam overload. If you like the spectacle of those movies, you would surely drown in them in this series. The camera and lighting are superb and capture the mood, the richness, and the awesome sets. Each shot is like a painting. Each actor always strikes a pose, and every dialogue is spoken with a flourish for the camera. The background score is very good and captures the mood of the story and the times. These are some of the good aspects of this series. Unfortunately, there ends the good things I can say about this series. To confess, I am not a great fan of this Bansali style, as more often I have found this style is not backed by much substance. In fact, this acts to detract you from what little substance the script or the actors might bring to the table. Even the camera angles are mostly medium to wide as they have to capture the sets and costume which have been painstakingly put together by Bansali's team. The focus is never the characters, emotions, acting, or the story. It is not what the characters do, but how they look while they are doing it. If this can be a bit overwhelming in a movie, this is downright exhausting in a 7 hour long series. So, what might be a plus actually turns out to be a negative after a while. The story is mostly about the rivalry between the Tawaifs and what each does to the other in pursuit of vengeance. This becomes a drag after a while. The main issue for me is even though this is a series with around 7 hours of runtime, Bhansali does not do a good job of introducing the characters properly so that we can connect and empathize with them. There is so much scope for emotional drama in this story. However, I could not really feel much for any of the characters, be it Bibbo John or Alamzeb's plight. While the characters and their story could have been realistic, the over the top portrayal and the sets and opulence constantly reminds you that this is just a drama and hence further hinders the connect you may have started feeling after a few hours of the story. The story had a lot of emotional scope, but that has not been successfully translated on screen, and this is the biggest letdown in this series. As far as acting goes, Manisha Koirala, Aditi Hydari, and especially Sonakshi Sinha, who has played the key characters, have done a good job. I would say Sonakshi Sinha has turned out one of her career best performances in this series. Sharmin Segal as Alamzeb and Taha Shah as Tajdar Baloch have excellent scope for performance, but their acting skills leave a lot to be desired. Taha Shah has a wooden expression most of the time, and Sharmin Segal makes even a shy smile look a very difficult thing to pull off. The dialogues are good, but not great. Definitely not like Mughal Azam, whose dialogues one can never forget. Some of the actors struggle with the Urdu, while for some like Farida Jalal, it's a cakewalk. I even tried the Tamil dub version for a bit and found the dubbing as well as the dialogues to be decent. So that's one good aspect, which probably might be due to Netflix. So, what is the verdict? Heeramandi is a slow paced, if not a boring piece of work, which looks exceedingly beautiful. Most of the effort and money has been spent on the visual appeal, which does bear fruit. But the poor screenplay, lack of focus on properly building characters, take a toll on audience connect and causes more disengagement. This reminds me of plastic flowers, which look strikingly real and colorful but have no scent or life. If you are a fan of Bansali style movies, you may like this one. Even for someone who is new to his style, the richness and grandeur might still appeal, albeit for just a couple of episodes. A general audience might find the Tawaifs and their life intriguing and novel, and hence it might turn out to be an average watch for them. Due to the mature themes and nature of content, this series can be watched only by adults. I will give this series a 5 out of 10 stars. See you again with another review. Until then, bye and happy viewing. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I go through hours and hours of content so that you can watch only the very best ones in your precious free time. Thank you.